Hello everyone, this is Pras from the FPL Wire and welcome back to my team selection video for Gameweek 15. Another short turnaround, so I'm not going to waste too much time on intro or anything else. We actually did a main pod earlier today, so this is purely about me and about how my team is doing and my team transfers. So let's get to it. So Gameweek's just finished, literally. Bournemouth have had a great result against Spurs. Also Fulham, really impressive against Brighton. So this is where I've ended up. I only had João Pedro today. So actually this was as good as it could have gone today because no other popular picks, Solanke, Semenyo, Dunk, who else, Porro, none of them, Johnson, none of them did much. So it was actually pretty okay as an outcome. So 63 points, still a red arrow actually because obviously Gabriel decided not to show up and I benched Morgan Rogers' goal. So that's now 3 goals Rogers has scored all on my bench. But, people who follow me know that doesn't bother me. It's fine because the decision was really João Pedro or Isak or Rogers, right? And there was a point when Eddie Howe's press conference happened. I was like, maybe Isak can be benched. It is Liverpool. So I'm glad I didn't do that. But then Rogers got 8. So had I got even Jackson, I would have got the Rogers points. So it didn't matter too much. I think the thing I'm happiest about this week, just like it was Saka the week after, it was Isak this week because I felt a lot of people were hasty in selling Isak because he had this double blanks and a little bit of an injury doubt, and then Jackson FOMO reached. And I got a lot of messages from people who said they didn't sell Isak because they watched this video. So I appreciate your comments, and that's the way I play. And now look, the outlook's changed. Isak's done well. Had they even matched each other, right? Both would have blanked, or maybe even Jackson scored one more goal. I would have kept Isak because now, when you look in the future, the next 3 look better for Isak. So it's one of those things. Obviously, luck helps, but patience always helps as well. So now I carry 2 free transfers. And what else can I say about the week? Arsenal defense does well, but again, Gabriel didn't show up. But Raya, at least one of the keepers that did well this week, well as in 6 points. Nothing from my defenders. Rico Lewis bench, which was good and bad. Like, if he had started, he would have got the clean sheet, but then he would have not probably been a risk for the weekend. So now he got a cameo, which actually the cameo helped me because otherwise I would have got the Pinnock 0-pointer. And now hopefully he starts over the weekend. So I'm happy to keep him. Aitnuri disappointing. I was starting him anyway, but nobody saw the 4-0, right? I mean, Everton have literally been the team that has been gifting people clean sheets before this week. Remember West Ham, I started Fabianski, Pinnock, they gifted a clean sheet to Pinnock and Flecken owners. So this week, I had to start Aitnuri for that reason, but that's fine. It is what it is. And my bench jam was Greaves for Gabriel, so not great there. He actually hit the post, so he came close. Then midfield, Saka, Salah, man. Like, happy with the captaincy choice. Again, we talked about it in the main pod, but he just is on something else, and so therefore I'm not even going to debate captaincy in this video. It's Salah captain now. Next week, when all players are at home, we'll have another discussion, but this week most players are away. In fact, all my 11 will be away. No, actually it depends if I bench Rogers again or not. So that's basically it. Forwards, as I mentioned, Isak, João Pedro assist was fine. It was actually even in contention for bonus, and then Cunha had an off night. It's fine. It happens. So that's where we are. Salah actually was the high. So look at this. Salah 18 points was the biggest loss for my team because a lot of my team is now template, and people who will be sort of critiques will say, oh, I play template. But actually, to be honest, in this case, I will say I was on a lot of these players and they happened to do well, so they became the template. But in this case, yeah, like the only thing that could have hurt me was a Salah mega haul, and that's what happened. But that's fine. So 63 points, 62k rank, we move. This is my team for this week. So no Rob T, no nothing again. Actually, there is one quick Rob T chart, but let's go straight to my team. So I've got Raya in goal. I've got Rico Lewis starting this week away to Crystal Palace. So lots of away games. So let's not get panicked here because most good teams are playing away this week. Aitnuri, I'm going to try him once more. Actually, I won't because when I'll make my transfers, he's going to go to the bench. So this is the team without the transfers, before the transfers. So Gabriel away to Fulham. If he misses out again, so again, same story, then Aitnuri will come off. But as it stands, of course, Gabriel, I'm hoping, is fine. Arsenal are again very healthy clean sheet odds. I think they're the second likeliest. Then you have Palmer. Saka is my lucky vice captain. I tend to always vice captain him, even though I think Palmer is slightly ahead because Fulham looked good again today. So then Salah captain. Bumo, I'll talk about him. He may be leaving my team. Sadly, I think he's still an okay pick. Like, people shouldn't. If you don't have 2 free transfers, don't take him out for a hit. Like home to Newcastle, he can do something. A bit like my Isak advice. If you have only one free transfer, maybe wait a week. Mbeumo out is actually a better window next week. But I think for me, Trent in is a better window this week because they're playing again Everton, who gift clean sheets, except for when they play Wolves. Then forward line, Cunha. So Lopetegui is now staying. This is the news that is coming today. So one last dance, right, for him. So basically means, the Wolves assets, they have one good chance, because if they put in another performance like they did against Leicester. Now, Leicester got lucky in the result. I'm not saying Leicester were amazing, but then West Ham did give away chances, as they have been doing. So I'm happy to play Cunha. Very happy to play Isak. Brentford are very open, although at home they're better. So I'm fine with him. And then happy to pay Pedro away to Leicester. He got 79 minutes today, so I expect a start. And actually, another positive things for his expected minutes is Welbeck was out. He has a small injury, so we don't know whether he recovers in time or not, but they don't have a lot of time. Like, they've played tonight, which is Thursday night, and then they play Sunday. So we'll see when Welbeck comes back, but if he plays centre forward again, that's not very bad. On the bench is Rodgers, home to Southampton again, so I might be going through the same pain all over again. I've got Greaves, home to Bournemouth, and then Pinnock. So the two issues here, two immediate issues, are basically Mbeumo and Pinnock. And I say immediate, it can even be dealt next week. So again, people in a similar boat with a similar structure don't have to deal with Mbeumo and Pinnock this week. It's not the end of the world if you play them. So where am I going with the team? You remember 3 weeks ago I did this path, and I had talked about a few things where I could take this team. There was a cruise path where I was talking about Pinnock to Konate. Konate got injured, so cruise path basically cancelled because I wanted a Liverpool defender for a run. Then I had the Bruno path, and we've seen that in the Bruno thing, sometimes he's playing as the double pivot, in which he's involved from a Man United perspective, but very little from an FPL perspective. Then there's the Trent path, which is basically the one I've highlighted now. I'm not going to follow these transfers exactly, but I'll come back to the Trent path and where I want to take this team now. Foden and Son path, this becomes worse and worse by the day. Son didn't start today. Foden didn't start for Man City. That fourth midfielder slot is basically becoming down and down and down in people's basically value. If you have a Son, Salah, Palmer structure, that fourth midfielder is becoming problematic. You could go down to a Bowen from Mbeumo. You could keep Mbeumo. But, Bruno, not as great an option. He's got Man City away and Liverpool away coming up. Odegaard could be a decent option, but is he as good an option as double defense? I'm not so sure. So, therefore, that fourth midfielder and fifth midfielder are going to basically take some funds out, which is not a bad thing. Defenses will get more expensive. Forward lines will get more expensive. Rashford path I've eliminated as well. He's just not starting every game. Too much rotation. And Haaland path is basically one that is still not out. So at any point, like I mentioned, if Saka, Salah or Palmer are injured, Isak will make way for Haaland and somebody cheap will come in for whoever is injured. That is never going away as a path because I respect Haaland, no matter what people say. So coming back to the Trent path, basically this game week or previous game week, I could have done Pinnock out because I've been wanting to get rid of Pinnock. What has changed is basically that this Mbeumo out in game week 17-18, I'm just thinking, let me get it done now because he has a decent game this week, but it is Newcastle. Then he plays Chelsea. Then he has other difficult fixtures for the foreseeable period. And what has happened is Trent has emerged. He's 6.9. He had his rest midweek. So it feels like a good entry point to get on Trent. And a lot of people will be doing it. This is not some genius path. So Trent becomes a viable option. So what I'm looking to do is basically do that downgrade from Mbeumo, not to Eze. I can't get to Eze now, and Eze has 2 difficult fixtures coming up. So what I might do is basically bring him down to a even cheaper midfielder. That could be, I could do Kulusevski, I could do Kudus, I could do Madueke, but Semenyo is the boring, easy option. So Semenyo just played. He could have had an assist. He's not the sexiest option. but I don't need to. Your fourth midfielder doesn't need to have it. He plays good enough fixtures for me to play him, and maybe this week, I could play Rodgers instead. So Semenyo looks to be the standout. I've not made up my mind yet in terms of who I downgrade Mbeumo for, and basically take Pinnock right up to Trent. I still, in Game Week 18, want to do Cunha and 8 Nuri to some other people. Those some other people could be Mateta, 8 Nuri could become Munoz, or Cunha could become Raul Jimenez, or somebody cheaper like Ram Jimenez got his rest today, but he's still a decent pick. Fulham still look good, and he's going to play most of the game. So I still haven't ruled him out. And then 8 Nuri could become a more expensive defender, like even a Guardiola. So those are the potential routes that I'm looking at in Game Week 17-18. But it is the TAA path. And so this is what the team will look like if I did go for a Semenyo path or this Trent path. So I would have Raya in goal, Rico Lewis starting as well. And this obviously says 8 Nuri. It should not. It should say Trent Alexander-Arnold, with respect. And then Gabriel. So this gets me my three favorite defenders, which is double Arsenal defense and Trent. Now, would I like Timber instead of Raya? Maybe, but that's fine. Like, I can't get to him, and it's not like I would, it would kill my structure. Anyway, Raya is the better long-term pick. When White is back, Timber is great until then. But when White is back, Calafiori is fit, I just don't want to bother with it. So Gabriel Raya, very happy. Trent, very, very happy. Hopefully he stays healthy. And then Rico Lewis will rotate with 8 Nuri. And so the way it will work is that when I think Rico Lewis starts, I will give him precedence. Next week, I hope 8 Nuri basically avoids a yellow card, gets the home to Ipswich game, and then after that, he's leaving at the next spot. So then he becomes the next transfer, like I talked about. It could be even Anderson from Fulham if I wanted to bring that spot down. It could be Munoz. So he will stay. And then midfield will be Palmer, Saka, Salah. I could start Rodgers or Semenyo. And I will talk about my benching dilemma as the last slide today. I could, basically it'll be Rodgers and Semenyo back, and it'll be one of those guys this week. And after this week, it'll be Semenyo going forward. I would like to make Semenyo into Eze, which is a difference of, I think, 0.7, if I can do it. And that would basically mean maybe not getting Mateta or not getting Munoz, getting a cheaper defender or getting another attacker that is not as expensive as Mateta. Because I'd ideally like it to be an Eze or even a Rashford, like if he does start to get a lot of games. So I do want that fourth midfielder slot to be a little bit of a punty slot as long as things are evolving. So for the moment, play the guy who has the best immediate term fixtures and then take it from there. That's the plan, because I don't plan to sell Palmer, Saka, Salah. I don't plan to sell Isak necessarily, João Pedro, unless there's injury, and the three defenders, the Trent, Gabriel, and Raya. So that's where the team core is shaping up, and these are all robust picks, I think, because Semenyo's had his yellow card done, he's had his rest/ban, and so therefore I expect him to play through the Christmas period. Reasonable minutes. He played, I think, 83 minutes tonight. So I feel these are all robust picks. This is why I don't get bench jam. And so that would be the aim. So now, final thing is basically talking about who to bench. So this is basically Rob T's player goal projections. Obviously, I've highlighted in red here the players that I own. So nothing to discuss about Salah, Palmer, Isak. João Pedro's up there as well, so nothing to touch with him. And even more so, I think the market's odds didn't reflect the Welbeck injury, so I think this will only go up. So happy with João Pedro. Saka is fine. Mbeumo, Rodgers I've highlighted together, and there's a reason for that. Both are midfielders. Both have the same goal-scoring odds. Basically, the idea is that they shouldn't be too different in expected points, right? So if I'm selling Mbeumo this week and I'm starting Rodgers instead, it's not so bad. Like, if I was keeping Mbeumo, I'd probably be benching Rodgers. So therefore, it feels like I can take that plunge this week and sell Mbeumo, even though I'm prepared for it to be, to backfire, because that's how it works. Mbeumo's that kind of pick. And so I like that. And then Cunha and Semenyo. Between Cunha and Semenyo, I think Cunha is the better pick because of route to points, because of potential penalties, because of the state that West Ham are in. And so I might just basically buy Semenyo and bench him away to Ipswich. And you never know, right? João Pedro misses out, somebody misses out, and I have Semenyo first bench, just like I had Rodgers first bench. Can Semenyo do well? Fine. Yes, he can. But maybe it's fine. So coming back to my team, this is where I'm sleeping tonight. Well, I've not made the transfers. But, coming back to my team here. This is what I'm doing. I don't think Trent is rising tonight. and Mbumo isn't dropping. So I'm going to wait. Let's have another press conference from Slot. Let's hear about any other injuries. And then tomorrow, that's the plan. Mbumo to Semenyo and Pinnock to Trent. Basically, we've seen through all the Brentford good fixtures, and now we move towards other teams with good fixtures, like Bournemouth, like Liverpool, to add to the others. So that's it from me. We have got. I would urge you to, if you want to show the love over the Christmas period, to subscribe to the channel. We have this target. LR and Zoff don't think we can get there, but I know we can get there. 35k subscribers. If you can help me, just click subscribe, and that would help me out a lot and help us out a lot, and that would be nice, and that would be nice to show us your support. So thank you very much. Again, a short turnaround, so appreciate all the love, appreciate all the support that I get on the comments. I will try to address all the questions on the comments as well tomorrow. Until then, good luck for Gameweek 15.